Hello, everybody. I believe we're live for everybody. Please give us a shout, as always, if our audio has issues. Welcome to our May Dev Chat and
Yeah, it
Q&A.
says we're on air, so we should be ready to go, right?
Yeah, I think so. Can you guys hear PMO okay?
Can you guys hear me? Give me thumbs up in chat.
Yeah, we're doing some audio fixing for PMO earlier, so
Hey,
hopefully you
hey,
guys can hear him
look,
okay.
I think it was your issue.
Yeah,
You're
I
speculating the reboot fixed it. I'm not sure if they can hear us. Yeah, thumbs up. They've got us.
yep, we got loud and clear, thumbs up. But yeah, welcome to our May Dev Chat and Q&A. Thank you, everybody, for posting questions.
Yeah, we got like a boatload of them. It was pretty
Yeah.
pretty crazy. I've been going through them, and I think I could probably give answers to a good chunk of them in Discord. That's for sure. I don't know how many we got. Did we get any on Steam forums? I'm not sure, but
No, it's mostly Discord.
mostly
So
Discord, yeah. Anything from, other social, like,
no,
I don't know
most
if we
people
can
on Reddit we're just gonna go to the Discord.
Yeah, exactly. Reddit,
Um,
what's that?
yeah, nobody knows we have a nice Reddit.
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
Galen, you're wearing your, "The only
yeah,
good bug is a dead bug." Nice, you got the
I
blue
had
one, yeah?
to. I remembered last time. I had to
Yeah.
do a quick change last stream, so I came prepared with two trooper shirts. I got
Oh,
the gray shirt and the summer shirt.
where can you get those shirts? We'll figure it out and send you a link because we bought them off of this it's a really obscure kind of Etsy site, I think, so, yeah, we can look, we can go get that try to figure a way to share that link, and we'll drop it in Discord. But yeah, it's anybody can buy these shirts, I think. Um, yeah, I think last time I wore mine, the weather wasn't quite nice. So I had a hoodie on and over it, but now the weather's quite nice here. So
Yeah, it's honestly a little too nice over here. I feel like it's a little too warm. But
oh, is it really?
yeah, yeah.
It's yeah, it was pretty hot here yesterday. It was like good jeez, like 28, 29 degrees Celsius.
Oh
And
yeah, similar.
Americans, can you do the math?
Yeah, I
Times
don't
two
know the
plus
freedom
30.
units. I'm sorry.
The freedom units. Look at you just talking smack about our brethren to the south.
But as always, we have questions from the Discord, and people can
Cool.
ask questions here.
Yeah,
We'll just go
I
through
can
them.
just
Yeah,
riff them off if you want,
just
and
yeah,
then
go
all
ahead.
right. First one comes from Mike Trike H5, existing Galactic Front perks for new players. So any Galactic Front that happens, if the community unlocks the perks, all new players coming into the game will always have access to it. That's kind of we don't want them to come back in and miss out on all that content because the community unlocked it. So it's a community unlock for everyone. There was a question about the Boreas GF and the rewards because they're not available to everyone. But yes, in the future, we'd like to make those available to everybody coming into the game. We made the decision to do them to be rewarded to all new users after Boreas. So, yeah, that's the first one answered.
Nice.
Next one's in kind of tied to squad for some reason, and us. It says squad UE5 and STE UE5 with squad rapidly moving to UE5. Yeah, squad's going to UE5. Completely two different teams, completely two versions of the different versions of the code base and the engine, stuff like that. So um, whether they would take some of our stuff and us from them, that's always a possibility. Next one is from Rabid Rabbit. Have there been any updates on the resolving of the mantling onto and over obstacles? Yeah, we're constantly looking at that, refining that, adjusting that as we go. And again, we'll continue to do that and work on that. The next question from Aware Tom 32, adaptive triggers for consoles, I guess specifically the PlayStation 5. No plans right now to do that, but never say never.
Question in chat though
Yep.
from High Tide Jim. The bug spawns are kicking our asses down here. Frontlines is taking a hammering. Can you share more about the future spawning methods?
I'll get to that in a minute, because yeah,
All
I
right.
I can talk. I guess I can talk a little bit about that now. So bug spawning, right? So We just earlier this week rolled out um, the bug spawning tech to our closed beta testers. So they are currently working and playing around on that right now. So the tech that we have from a very high level is with this new iteration of spawning, there's nothing in the game, not a byte, not a bit, not a comment, not a piece of programming code from the old system in the new system. So it's currently started its very, very early testing with our closed beta group. So yeah, that's where we're at with our bug spawning. And once we get closer to it to be released, we will, of course, share some dev blogs and share a little bit about what this new system is and that. Ideally, from a very high level, when you get the new update with that in, which is a future update, not the next update coming, that's for sure. It should feel it should feel on parity to the best feeling you had with the existing spawning system. It's really that should be the what we're aiming for. So when everything works on live perfectly, we want that as our starting point for our new bug spawning system. That's the ambition.
Nice. Back to
Plans.
Discord.
Yeah, this one I'll go back in Discord and I'll do a few questions, then I'll pause. This one is from Tasta Toy. Plans on rewarding the engineers for doing engineering tasks. So getting XP for doing new things. So absolutely, 100%. You'll see some of that for just more than engineers, like with new perks in the Galactic perk system, but also for engineers, we want them and all players to receive XP for every action they do in the game for the Federation. So yes, plans to adding more of those things for the engineers and the rest of the classes. This one is from Onyx Soul. Will there be special award maps? No, there probably will never be specifically a designated map for just one mode. That seems it's not a really good ROI for us, return on investment. We want to make sure our maps is designed and curated so that it can have multiple modes on it. Not saying every map will support every mode, um, but yeah, we won't necessarily build a specific map. Now, that being said, the new mode coming out that we're going to be doing a test run with will only that mode is only run on that map, and that map only supports that mode. But yeah, so for Horde, we have no specific plans, but yeah. Um,
Let's
okay, the
see.
next question is from Tom Ace. Are there plans to add more life forms besides bugs? No, we are a bug game.
I guess you do have the traders.
What?
You do have the traders, I guess. But
Yeah, if you kill your own guys, then we get to hunt you. So, um, all right. Anything from chat you want to ask?
yeah, there's some about adding an imposter style game mode, or like also mentioning of like the old laser tag PvP mode from the movies where they were training.
Yeah, okay. So I mean that's a cool aspect of the movie. Pretty sad part of the movie too. No, we're a PvE game. There's no plans at all to introduce any type of PvP. You're talking about a completely different game with different
Mhm.
expectations, but no.
Is there a plan to add dismemberment of like bugs, shooting bug limbs off?
Um, we talk about it quite a bit. It would be a massive investment, and not at this time is not something imminent right now. No.
Then there was one. Are there any plans from Brooklyn Rob to open up other areas of existing maps?
Yes, 100%. We have the full intent to add new play areas to existing maps. Actually, the new mode coming out um, is not on the existing maps, but it comes with two small maps, and they're on Agni and Velaka. They're just a different part of the planet. So yes, but to the existing, say Velaka, where Starport, Fuel Depot, we do have plans to add a new area to that map and to Agni also down the road, down the road. It
Oh,
all
I
kinds
see.
comes down to the balance of adding interesting new biomes versus adding to adding new biomes that you haven't seen before versus adding existing stuff. So we want to do a combination of both where it makes sense.
Oh, I see an interesting question from English Links. Hi, Links. The Carnage model, will it be applied to the tanker as shown in the Unreal Fest video that was done?
Yeah, well, we did have it working with Carnage where it would stay there and stuff like that. So not at this time, but when we feel like we want to get back there, we will. It's a little bit more technically. There's some more things we need to work through on that side first. But yes, we'd like to get there.
All right, I guess back to Discord questions.
Yeah, this one's from another one from Tom Ace. Can we get more light at night? Why? You got flashlights, deal with it. But yes, we're always looking at our lighting on our planets and making some refinements, stuff like that. But caves are meant to be dark and stuff like that. We have get your engineers to build those massive light poles, flashlights. But yes, we're always, if it's too dark where it doesn't make sense, if it's too close to pitch black, it doesn't make sense if it's just a normal lighting. So yeah, but as of right now, it's not necessarily something we look at all the time. But if there's enough feedback in for one map during one day and night cycle, we will look at it.
Oh, from Nine
Um,
Garrus 9. Is there any info on a new map? I believe they saw it on the roadmap where he
oh, I
said,
could talk about that after.
oh, okay.
Um, I guess I probably could talk about it now. So I can. The short answer is yes. It's on the roadmap. So there's two things like when we say map, it kind of it's really weird, right? Like because usually when people refer to a map, it's a new planet, right? So there's a new actual map coming that will support multiple modes. Um, is that just a question? Just want to know if it's one coming, or they want more
Yeah, they
details?
just want to know how big it is or how soon will they see it.
Oh, we will talk about that map probably in the July timeframe pretty heavily.
Mhm.
You will see this new map. Our goal is to have it ready to go in the fall, the early fall. So like the October slash kind of mid to late October, kind of coincide with our 1 year being out of 1.0. So that's the goal to have it ready. There's multiple maps in design right now, but that one specifically we've been working on for a little while. So yeah, but you'll learn more about it in July.
Soon, very soon.
Yes, 100%. And just a note, if you're in Discord, the exact map, it's the whole thing was discovered and detailed out by someone in Discord. I want to say in October, November, maybe November of last year, after I changed my icon to something. They put it all together within 2 hours, and my mind was fucking blown. It was like,
We
how did
making
they
these more
do
hard.
that? And I was like, is that person working for us under a pseudonym? Like, I was really starting to get like, there's a brain bug within the brain bugs here. But yes, it's been guessed already, and it was detailed out quite specifically. They drew the dotted lines, and I'm like, "Oh my god." I'm like, "They literally did it all." So it's already been spoiled in Discord.
Oh, people are gonna go hunting now.
Yeah, it literally was, and, the person I talk to regularly, I think on, Discord and closed beta when I'm in there chatting with folks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. More question. Oh wow, there's actually a
Um,
lot of
I
questions.
got yeah, I can do one. What is the future of the plasma bombardment event? Do you like it as it is? I love it as it is. I want it to be bigger. We've talked about making it map encompassing, not just a sphere. We want it to be like there's a bunch of stuff we want to do with that to incorporate different types of things bombarding you. But yes, I love it. I don't like getting killed by it sometimes, but yeah.
Oh, we
The
have.
next one, sorry, plasma bug for the movie. Yeah, it's on the list of bugs we'd love to see in the game eventually, for sure. It's on there. It's after, obviously, we got the Scorpion coming. That's coming relatively. we'd like to have that ready with the planet. I mean, the map. I mean, it's, I'll put it this way: the map is in space. We'll just put it there. So we got what they say: Scorpion, Hopper, Brainbug. Yeah, so those are the big three that's coming. So
Oh, we have this question that's always asked about expectations for new weapons and classes and all that, but this one's about the M11 Power Suit and Mark II.
oh, yeah, so we kind of deprioritize that a bit because we need really have really good designs in place, and they have to have a good place in the game, right? You can't have like 16 Babars running around. That's never going to happen. So if that's your thought of what's going to happen in our game, no, it's not. You never have 16 Babars running around. So to be honest with you, it'll be the Babar first. That will be the one we implement first. How it's being implemented, we've got designs kind of in plan for that. But that's going to come packaged with something else. And then the power suit is a challenging one for us because we initially teased it about 2 years ago. We do have the models, three models for it, like how we would do it. But the the DSV, we already are armored soldiers. It doesn't add a whole lot of more value on top of what we have for our DSV. So that might be long off and what we want to do with that. But the Barbara for sure is something that it's going to be the first thing to be put into the game in that set. But they won't be like taking over the game. So like, why would you want to play anything else if you could be that biped, right? So like, yeah. So we got to be careful with that.
Yeah, I think in terms of other weapons and stuff, I think we teased one of the new weapons coming out in our newsletter, I
What
believe.
did we choose a
The
new weapon?
yeah, the plasma with the tri-burst, the underbarrel grenade launcher.
Oh, the Merida too.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's coming like in a few weeks, right? Whenever
yeah.
1.5 goes out. I can't remember when
So,
1.5 is coming out, but it's June for sure.
hmm
Late June. But yeah, the Merida 2 is coming. That's the big weapon that's being added, and that's got like so much cool shit with it. Like, you know, it's a burst weapon, but you can mod it to have full auto. You can mod it to have an experimental plasma shot with it. It's a grenade launcher standard. It's a bunch of cool stuff with it. Put scopes on it. It's a pretty versatile gun. Is that the question? Do you just wanted to know the new weapon
no,
coming?
there was actually an additional question to that. It was how will older weapons maintain relevance? Will we go back and update damage numbers or add
Oh yeah,
mods? Or
it's always being tuned, right? Whenever we enter the first thing about putting a weapon in game is does it have a place in our game in the combat rotation, right? Like will it all of a sudden make the Merida 1 not when nobody wants to play it, or the smart rifle, or sorry, the SMG, sorry, or something like that, right? So that combat designer goes through that and finds its place and makes sure it appeals to everyone, but not like something that it's the only weapon you should have. So it has to have its pros and cons, just like any weapon in real life. But yeah.
a lot of tanker questions, it seems. Is there any more plans
Oh,
for
I
the
got one
tanker bug?
question.
Oh, okay.
Somebody
Go
asked
ahead.
this one. New spawning system. Tell us in a few words how the new spawning system is progressing. It's progressing quite well, but the new spawning system, it just works. We know how it works. We know how to play with it, so it's going quite well. But yeah, the good news, it works. All right. There's a lot of spawning tech. Can you tell us about super secret spawning? It's not really a secret. It's like a complete new system. We've been talking about it for a while. The good news is in actual play test right now, which is really good.
Mhm. Which no playtester can talk about. Just a small reminder to all of you who will be watching.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, the next one. Yeah, back to the question that was by, I cannot pronounce this, NA23AL. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it was any plans for the tanker bug? Like any more additional uses or?
Yes, 100%. I could talk about this a little bit too because we'll be talking about it. Um, so when 1.5 comes out, the tanker bug will be making an appearance on another planet. It will have some refinement to how it gets deployed now. It won't just deploy directly on the MBU. Like we'll make some adjustments there with the new nav mesh updates we made in 1.4. It's really making the tanker have become an even bigger threat. But also the tanker because it is our one of our boss bugs. We internally refer it to as one of our boss bugs. That in the royal card, it will be kind of a centerpiece of our new mode that's happening. That will be coming with 1.6. So yes, we love the
Very exciting.
tanker ambush. That would be cool, actually.
That would be chaos. If they're
Well,
all the
we were
same
playing on
strength.
planet that shall not be named. We were playing on that planet, and one of the designers had two tankers out, and I'm like, oh my
Oh yeah,
god,
we did. That
that was
was
awesome.
that was a crazy fight and just full of chaos. There's a lot of questions about like us fixing bugs or fixing long-standing, but I don't know if there's anything you could dive into, like how our bug fixing process works or
Oh, okay.
where we prioritize things.
Yeah, so it's if you're familiar with any type of software development or game development, this is you could just go get a coffee now. But so as new bugs come in, and then we have legacy bugs, like bugs been around, so we try to fix a combination of them. But because we're still in the active development, post-launch, feature delivery, because there's so much more things we want to put in, we prioritize both sets of bugs together. We look at it as how many quality of life, how many long-standing issues we can fix, but also still support the new features that are we putting in a game, and a combination of those bugs. So they get prioritized and reprioritized. Every update, we go through that process and we look at, okay, is there something here we're working on a new feature that helps us fix this bug that's been a long-standing issue? Or is a package of bugs that we now can look at, can we fix? So we'll do that in every update. Now it takes time, right? Because there's like we've got well over 1,000 bugs logged in our game, but they don't have equal value, right? It's like sometimes there could be a bug that is been there since launch, but it's on 5% of the user path, and we choose not to touch that one at the expense. That's at the expense of then we say we're not going to look at that. We look at a bug that might happen 5% of the time, but its impact is so impactful when it does happen. We'll look at fixing that. So there's always a constant conversation, and we try to balance that out as much as we can. That's why in the last 6 months we've been really focusing on optimization and performance bugs at the expense of a lot of major features coming through. And now we're kind of rebalancing that a little bit. So yeah, we're always looking to fix bugs. And no game I've ever played that I've ever played, there's these sets of bugs that seems like been around forever, but they are not because there's not an unwillingness to fix it. It's because there's more important bugs that they need to address.
I saw a funny message that said, "Who wants double XP? Put plus plus plus." I
Oh,
think
well, all right. Yeah, but
we
I
can save
think
it for the end. We can save it for the end.
yeah, we could save that for the end. Yeah,
I
you'll never
just
get double
had
XP
to bring it
again.
up.
Let's get back to Discord here.
Yeah, there's one about the SOG single player story mode. Is what they
Hmm.
called it. With the tutorial being named Chapter 1, it implies some intention for a single player campaign, or at the very least, some future to it. Can you elaborate
Yeah,
on what the scope is?
yeah. So there originally there was a plan to expand on it, and unfortunately, we got to look at where we are with the game and what needs more love and why people buy our game, right? And majority of people buy our game for 16 player, uh, you know, multiplayer action. So we'll still do plan to add a few extra missions into SOG when we'll look at it, and we'll look to um, make that happen for sure. But right now, our priority's on 100% on all the 16 player content we have in the game. Yep. But stay tuned.
Next one was, would it be possible to have Ranger scan pulse on a cooldown rather than 3 charges?
Uh,
Guess that's more of a
I don't
balancing
know.
thing. Yeah, it's more
Yeah,
of
that's not a question I'm going to
yeah, it's not
answer
for
here. I'm like,
well, I
yeah,
guess
that comes
part
into
of that
preference.
is
I
there
play
any
Ranger. Ranger's my main. I don't mind it the way it is, but it's feedback, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind. I think, I guess tying into that, is there any things for classes that you would like to share? I know there's a lot of questions asking about, is there new classes or any changes coming to classes like this
Um,
server?
well, with the Marita 2 being, ended out as now a level 16 weapon for all classes, we're always looking at every class, every patch. We always look at it's like, oh, what can you do with that with the weapons? Is there something we want to do with the utilities or perks or something like that? There is plans in the future to add new levels to each of the class and also introduce a new class. That's our goal right now. But yeah, again, classes are one of like the pillars of our game, so we're constantly looking at that to improve and add new interesting things for them.
Oh, I see. There's some questions regarding just server performance. We've done a lot on just like general performance, but people are
Yeah,
wondering more
yeah.
for
So
that.
servers are always server performance. We're always looking at. We've like our server crashes are like literally the lowest, almost so minuscule they're non-existent, based on data that are purely caused by the server. Now there's crashes that people get that they might assume is the server is probably something to do with the client and how it's interacting, but the server itself crashing minuscule, like less than a percent fraction of a percent of crashes. But we're also looking at how we are optimizing our servers, making sure um, the amount of game sessions that occur on a server, we reduce that before launch and we continue evaluating that. And sometimes certain servers, they run out of memory too, and they just have, their computers, right? So we have alerts and alarms on all those. Majority of our player base is in North America. So with the update one, when update 1.5 goes out, we've already started the process, but we will be adding two new servers in the US, in US East and US Central. So that means that we'll have much more capacity in there on our dedicated bare metal servers, which is really good news because right now the majority of our player base is in that area. Like 60% of our players is in North America, and the rest are in Europe, and then a small percent in the rest of the world. So we are adding new servers there, and we keep bouncing back and forth to a lot of the things people have with servers with latency and ping is because they're not in the region because they may be playing off peak in their region and they're connecting to a like if they're in east in at midnight US East and majority players on Pacific, they might be trying to connect to they might be auto connecting to a Pacific server, which impacts obviously their latency and their ping and stuff like that. Or if they're in Europe trying to connect to US East, and so we do allow that, right? Because we want our matches to be full, which will what comes with that compromise. We have talked a little bit about region locking. So if you're in Europe, you can only play on Europe servers, so we can guarantee a latency, but that comes at the cost of off-peak times. You might not be able to find a match within 30 seconds or 20 seconds. You might have to wait longer, right? So we don't want to do that right now, but it's always something we talked about.
Oh, it's an interesting question. Will we be ever adding physics to like the Carnage Corp system?
We're not really looking at anything to the Carnage system at this time. Just XP for clearing them. That's basically it. But yeah, no major additions to Carnage in the future.
Let's see. Will there be armor cosmetics? I'm trying to see what this one's about.
Oh, armor cosmetics, like different types of the actual armor, not the
Yeah,
actual
like little
uniforms.
different armor pieces, like knee
No,
guards.
No, because right now they're specific and tailored to their classes, and we put a lot of effort and time into designing the classes and them their unique armor set. So we tend to do our customization everywhere around that. I have a question here, Discord. Can we expect any new side objectives in the near future? I wouldn't necessarily say near, but it's something we are actually looking at. Once we put our new spawning tech out, we get the dust settles there literally, and we can see what we have. There's going to be a complete focus on the living world, what's happening in the living world, making sure objectives matter, especially in ARC, in AAS, making sure they matter, but also looking at new and interesting things we can do objective-wise in the game that really have consequences. So that's a big part of our plan at the second part of the year leading into 2026.
Oh, I see this question popping up in chat and it's in the Discord. It's, will the radio backpack ever be added to the game to call in airstrikes or artillery?
Um, oh, okay. So something we are working on a new building type. It's in preliminary stages right now, like really preliminary. No, there's no, it's not even on a roadmap. No ETA on this or anything, but that would have the ability to do things like that. Yep.
Ooh, early tease, early tease.
Yes. Yeah. It has a big dish. Just it's
Oh,
like a big dish.
there's one making a callback to an old roadmap, which was, I believe we had Player Hub on it. Will that ever be making a return?
Never say wait, return to your roadmap? No, probably not anytime soon, but never say never. I want a player hub. That question probably could get more interesting towards the end of the year
Oh,
if it gets asked, because then I
I,
probably
well,
might have a different answer. It all depends, but yeah, I would love one,
yeah, I would very much enjoy
but I don't
hopping
get what I want all the time either, right?
on. But you could try, you could push for it. Can we ever get realistic rangefinders on our scopes?
Really, like you want like milsim?
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, the bullet has some drops. Can we get some numbers besides just the crosshair to better adjust where to shoot?
I I'd probably say I don't know if designers want it. I'm like it's not really our game, but maybe maybe.
Yeah, I think a lot of these are never say never type deals.
Yeah, it's not. I've not thought about that, so that's an
Yeah,
interesting
I've
thing.
never thought about it. I've just always adjusted. That's the mech suit again, and then oh, is there scope to remove the always online requirement?
Oh, you want to go offline? Yeah. Well, if people didn't cheat so much when it comes, this is in reference to single player, right? SOG, is that it? Always,
Um,
you always have to be
yeah,
online. It's a
because
multiplayer game.
yeah, they said they no longer have a PS Plus subscription, so they can't open the game anymore. Is it eventually possible to remove the requirement so they can play SOG missions offline?
It originally I wanted SOG to be offline, but we wouldn't be able to reward anything for it because of cheating, and especially on PC, right? Um, but ultimately, if we could solve that, SOG would be the first candidate. That would be the prime candidate to be in offline only mode, or not offline only, but offline mode. Yep, not anything near in the future or anything. So like that's like years and years down the line. But yeah. Originally, we thought about that, but then we, again, wouldn't have been able to give rewards for it because people would be able to cheat.
Oh, I see a few questions about the camera and like offshoots of that. One was, is there any plans for additions to the cameras, such as like more buffs, or one specifically people ask for is like being able to record and actually like highlight clips, sort of like a play of the game
We
system.
talked about all those things. If there's enough feedback on it, enough willingness on it, and people want it, they just put it in the feedback. And absolutely, we're looking at different things we can do with the camera. Yeah, I think it's been a massive success. Um, the camera, it's been seen some really good videos out there on it. So again, for a feature that was never like, it's one of those features that it's a labor of love. People wanted it. You can live the fantasy, and stuff like that. It went over extremely well. I have a question. A question here that caught my eye was from Vix Andra. Can companies work to get their own color schemes? We show that for. Okay, so company customizations. We're hoping to get that out by the end of the year. Well, you'll be able to choose your emblem background, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, 100%. It's already designed, art already approved. It's just finding the time to put it in for companies. But yes, 100% Vixandra, that is coming as soon as we can get it in. But yes. And that comes before that, though, is company leaderboards for Galactic Front and stuff like that. That's hopefully we're hoping to get that in this summer. So
Yeah, I think aren't there I think there's a few changes coming to company in the next update as well, right?
what's that?
I think there's some changes coming to companies, minor changes coming to companies in the next update as
Not
well.
in 1.5, no.
No, no, okay, then I'm misremembering then.
Not in 1.5.
Oh, I think no, I'm thinking of Galactic Front
Yeah,
more.
that's different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's different. Not companies. Do not quote me on that. Um,
Um,
go ahead
oh,
if you have more.
there's a question. Discord allow us to change loadouts late in the game? Yeah, because we do allow you to do it before the dropship leaves. It's a great question. We thought about it, having it always available. And then we get in a run of what if somebody switches their loadout 8 times or 7 times and reuse it? Like, how do we calculate the XP and all that kind of stuff for the end of the match, right? So we got to be very, very careful on that. But that's something we talked about. Maybe we can extend it or have it as a build option, stuff like that. But yeah, it's an idea we've talked about also.
Oh, this is an interesting question. Will there ever be bosses to face on the Galactic Front?
Well, you already have them, tankers. There's
Uh,
tankers, mutators already in Galactic Front. That's where they kind of like show up quite a bit. Yeah, but
like
yeah,
maybe
and then
they're
Royal
asking if there's like,
Guards.
yeah, Royal
I
Guard
mean,
variants.
eventually Scorpions will be in there, stuff like that. So
Oh, this one's also interesting. Is will there be any plans in putting in interactable environment assets like an elevator or changing lava flow or such traps around the world?
not necessarily because we already have tons of interactables in the game, right?
Hmm.
You know, refineries, putting stuff into the MBU and all that kind of stuff. So we do have interactables, the gates, all that kind of stuff. So it's not like lampposts, the twin gun. Like we got tons of interactables in the game. So it's not a stretch to say yes, we would like to add more stuff in the game for sure. Like what tripwires and stuff like that.
Yeah. I see one by Crusader asking if the pylon launcher will ever be part of the loadout system.
No, not at this time. No, it's not. Same as the M55 nuke when it comes in. It's not going to be a class weapon, right?
Oh,
It'll be
funny you mentioned that.
yeah. M55 is going to be yeah. It's not going to be. It doesn't
Yeah,
make sense, right? Like for it to be a part of the of a class.
yeah. Speaking about the M55, there was a question by Thomas about mentioning that months ago we talked about a power weapon system and
Oh no,
mentioned the
it's the
M55.
existing system we have. It's our power
Yeah,
weapons, right? That's
like they
what
want
we
more
call
clarity.
what goes into crates, right? Like yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And our M55, our nuke only takes one soldier to operate.
let's see. Well, what is the wildest idea you've ever had that will never make its way to the game?
I just had it and it got Sony approved.
Oh, okay.
And
Guess
you
you'll
know
hear
what
that
it
in the
is because
future.
I shared it with you
Oh
yesterday.
yeah, you did. I can't say anything, sadly.
No, nobody can
Maybe
say
in the
anything.
future.
Maybe.
In the future.
Yeah.
Let's
Somebody asked me, can I tease the next planet? It's in space.
it's in space. And
Yeah.
he did mention somebody broke it down completely in
Yeah,
Discord.
100%.
So if you go search it, you might be able to find it.
Weston, who's a bit of a troll, another weapon I'll never be able to pick up. Sure you will. It'll be there. It'll be around. It'll be there. Don't be so sad. It'll be there. Trust me. With the power weapons, we want to make sure that they're available more often in the game because there's like the Pilum surplus, right? There's so many on the. It's funny when that mutator is running. There's so many around. Nobody. It feels like people are avoiding picking them up because there's so many of them there. So,
Let's see.
anything? Yeah, about the next planet. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna tease anymore.
Oh, there's one about the demo charges, whether we'll ever change it so it just drops instead of having to like flick it open and plant it on the floor.
I think there was discussion about it, but nothing imminent. That's for sure.
We're gonna run out of Discord
Uh,
ones.
Oh, one sec. Palantis, will there be modes more than 16 players? No, not at this time. All modes will be 16 player come 1.5 because there'll be no more 4-player mode in 1.5, with the exception of SOG, right? SOG is the tutorial, right? So, but yes, all modes will be 16 player. Even the new mode coming out is 16 player. It's just takes a while before all 16 of them are together in that mode. Well, not that long, maybe 2, 3 minutes.
I see one by Harrian that asks, will company slots stay 30 forever?
No, it's part of when we do the customization for companies. You'll as you level the company up with Intel, you'll get new slots. You'll get an extra 10, 20, 30, up to a couple hundred. Yeah.
Let's see what else we got from Discord. We
Do
have
you have any non-movie bugs planned? Yes, we actually do. ETH attack fighters. So whenever the big dish comes into the game, they will be into the game. And the good news, if you want to know about attack fighters, is we have prototypes of it all working gloriously. So yeah, and usually prototype phases are just before development phases, if you want to connect dots there.
um oh, there's one about what was it? Oh, planet-specific hazards. Agni Prime has lava. Are we planning to add any more sort of planet-specific hazards or enemies?
Yes, well, we do have like sandstorms and stuff like that, and plasma bombardment
Taters.
and stuff like that. So yes, we would love to have more of those. I mean, but we want each planet to kind of feel special and unique, but not all feel like, oh, don't go in the acid pools on Vlaka. Don't go in the like the lava pools. Like it then it just becomes, oh, it's just a different version of the same thing. So we kind of want that's the beauty of our game is like, excuse me, you have to play each level, each world differently, right? Vlaka is kind of this, you know, big, really a lot of Federation stuff on Agni, on Vlaka. And then you go to Agni, you got your lava, it's kind of wide out, a lot of Vista, not a lot of tech there. You go Boreas, it's elevation based, so you've got it's like, but that's the uniqueness with that. And then X11, you're in and out of cave, but you have one primary cluttered crater. And so each of the things we add world-wise, like planet-wise, is going to add something different and distinct so that when you go play there, you kind of approaching the level a little differently, right? So that's our goal.
Oh, I see one that's pretty interesting. Will Casper be making any returns in a voicing capability in the future for
I would say yes. Yes.
we'll just leave it at that.
Hmm.
Uh, are we gonna get a camera crew skin? And are there any other skins we'll see in the future?
Yeah, so 1.5 is dropping. We'll have a brand new DLC for people to be able to support us with, and that is the Stinging Fury.
Mhm.
DLC. So that'll be coming out, and then we have multiple DLCs coming out throughout the year. Plus, we have an event coming, hopefully by the end of the year, to a brand new event to kind of partner with Galactic Front. So, but yes.
I don't even think we've announced the name of that skin set yet.
Oh, we
But
didn't?
yeah, I think, well, you heard it here first.
Yeah, it's called Stinging Fury.
I really like it. I think it's probably one of the nicer ones
I like
because
the
I
glowy
like,
bits,
yeah, I like the glowy bits. That's the main drawing for me. Like I
and
love
yeah,
the.
and one of my favorite colors I'm wearing. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, because we're not far away from
Oh,
1.5, right? Like
it's coming
1.5
up
is
pretty
out
soon.
late
It's
June.
already
So,
yeah, it's already the end of May, right during the release month.
yeah, exactly, right? I'm looking to. Oh, this is a good one. Why doesn't single player tutorial take place on a larger, already existing map like Block? That's a freaking great question, and I think I've answered it a lot of times. The reason it happens on all the planets in the tunnels is because we really wanted the player to feel this, like, we a couple things. Time is we had to make sure we could do what we wanted to do in the time we had, but we wanted them in this kind of more linear play space where a new player, because it's meant to be for new players, they wouldn't feel they go off this side because Flak is massive, right? They could go get lost and never figure out what they had to do. So we wanted to push the player through that way. And we wanted to introduce a bug in each mission and things to do. So that's why it was designed that way. Plus, we were able to do what we wanted to do very quickly, but not lose focus of the 16-player game and the rest of the game. We were doing this while we were shipping on console, and we're a very small development team. Like, I mean, minuscule compared to competition out there. So that was the reason, honestly. It was because a time, and we really wanted to make sure the journey was very linear and they didn't get lost, and they could just go through it really quickly, and each mission was 1 or 2 minutes long. That's really what we wanted to do. Um, and really, I mean, ultimately, the goal would be to get them outside into bigger environments, but then it's like that's what 16 players for. That's what AAS is for. That's what Critical Strike is for. That's what a Horde is for. That's what those modes are for, right? So
Will the Scorpion bug ever be a boss bug like the tanker?
yes,
Or is it
it
treated
is.
as a normal
It's
bug?
Yeah, it's going to be kind of like, yeah, it's meant to be it's a big bug. The Scorpion bug is a massive bug. It's roughly in little like thickness wise, like it's just big. It's like tanker size.
Oh wow. I saw the previews. I didn't see it. Oh man, if it's that big, I I don't think
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
is.
be
You've
ready
you've
for it.
seen it.
I've seen it, but I think the scale is just a little off, so I didn't expect it to be that big, but
Yeah, it's like it's weird because it's not as thick, right? But it's high, right? Because the tail's like plump, like that, and it's like it gives nice hugs.
someone just said critical strike question mark.
Oh,
I think
that's the name of the new mode that we're working
let
on.
it slip.
Oh yeah, I didn't I talk about that before?
No, I think that's the first time you've mentioned the name
Yeah, the
critical
new
strike.
mode that we're working on, and it's alpha vert. Like it's going to be we're going to roll it out, but it might not become a permanent part of the game if if fans like it and the community likes it. Gives us a stepping off point to do more interesting things in that realm. So we're trying a bunch of few things, different things in there in that mode, but it's called Critical Strike. You heard it here first.
Um, yeah. Get the news hot off the press on every Q&A, it seems. Oh, I saw a pretty interesting question earlier that was, will there ever be like the
Oh,
potential of not having an evac ship?
yes, Critical Strike does not have evac or base building.
Mhm. Uh,
Someone has a good question, Eric. Can you tell us a little bit the reason the names of some of the planets like Valaka and Boreas? Okay, so Valaka was built well before I joined a team, and many of people on our team joined, and it's Sanskrit. They use Sanskrit as a reference for Valaka. And once I can get some type of lore into the game and codex and stuff like that, that would be described in there. And Boreas is because I'm Canadian. I come from northern parts of Canada, and I use a lot of Innu and Inuit in how I name things because of my heritage. I look at those. I look at indigenous people from around the world when I look at naming planets and stuff like that, and like where they're at in the world and stuff like that. Like so things like that, right? So yeah, Boreas comes from a take on some indigenous naming for like cold and snow and stuff like that and the systems that they're in too. Uh, like there's a system in our game called the Muskegon system, and it's based off muskog, which is a term used to describe frozen tundra in certain dialects and certain indigenous groups, stuff like that. So I do anyway, look at the past and like history, but also look at indigenous naming of stuff when I look at stuff like that. Yep. Yep. So I wanted to answer that question because it's really interesting because there's a lot of thought goes into the lore, and we don't do a good enough job in the game in sharing that with the community, and that's why I kind of like to get a codex in there and stuff like that. And there is definitely a new building in the work. Somebody's asking about new builds
yeah,
stuff. There's
mentioned the
definitely
dish.
new build. It's actually been approved and done. It's just now needs the gameplay to go with it. But yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. There's
Uh,
multiple. There's two actually. That's just needs again the design, the reason why is there, but the design to go in and actually be implemented.
So we're coming up almost on the end. We have 10 minutes. So if you haven't asked your questions, I suggest asking them now. Because,
Oh, there's
yeah,
a question here. Can you tell us about the game's moderation? This was from
links.
uh, Links, yes, with the ability to share band numbers. Yeah. So there's a lot of, and Galen's part of this too, right? So, and then our customer support team is part of this. So really, it's I'm not going to go into too much details, but we have a in our game, you could submit reports if people are
Mhm.
cheating, people are being vile, racist, sexist, whatever it is, right? You can put reports in. So those go into our back end and we look at them and we can see how many reports a certain account has and who's reported it because it's important to know who's reported the incident because if it's one person reporting it 50 times, well then you got the reverse. Maybe they're using this to attack someone else. But normally we look at it and we have to look at it in context, right? We have to look at how many of these reports are consistent, that the descriptors are in there. And this is after our easy anti-cheat hasn't caught the blatant cheaters, the people trying to change config files and all that. That's why, like, that's a different story, but easy anti-cheat gets, like, we get a lot of people who do says the game keeps crashing on boot, but when we investigate it is because they've done some stuff they're not supposed to, and easy anti-cheat stopping them from doing it. So sometimes it's legitimate, they're crashing because of certain things. That's why we ask for crash logs and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so we look at this and then we look at the history of that that account. Have they been warned before? Because we go through steps, right? We go through. So if somebody keeps destroying the base all over and again, we got to be careful, right? Even though a lot of people are complaining about it, we've allowed that in our game. We allow the tear down and build up, right? We want the community to be policing that too and communicating in games like, dude, stop doing that. We're going to report you. But if people account as a history of doing that, we look at it and we give warnings and then we can give bans 1 day, 2 days, 7 days, seven. Like it takes a lot to get a permanent ban when it's around non-evasive cheating, like where it's been detected that they're unlimited ammo or they're doing something malicious in the game. Those are once we have that, they're banned directly. We will ban those people from the game, those accounts. But when it's more not kind of more gray area, we have to evaluate those carefully. And a lot of thought goes into that and a lot of discussion and we're lucky though, because our community really kind of polices people really well within match, and we don't tend to see a lot of repeat offenders after they've been warned. But yeah, that's kind of the approach we take. Yep. Hopefully that answers your
Uh,
question, Links.
yeah, I think I gave a really short form answer. It was like, gets the back end, we review, and we issue like warnings and punishments as needed.
Yep.
Um, so we have a few questions that came up during that one. It was first one is, will there ever be a survival frontlines game mode?
I need more descriptions on what they
I'm
mean by
assuming
that.
that's just like infinite, like surviving as long as you can.
Yeah, we've had a lot of talks about Infinite Horde. Yeah, and now with the new Horde change coming in 1.5, where it's no longer uh, a number of bugs killed per round, it's time based. It'll allow us a lot more freedom into messing with those time lengths and how many rounds and all that live. We can do it through our servers as opposed to client updates. But yes, we've had a lot of thoughts on that specifically because Horde's a very popular mode in our game. Very, very popular.
Um, this one by Godamus was, is there any plans on adding prone or sliding abilities?
We talked about it, not at this time. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next one is by Concerned Citizen. Will there the return of AI troopers ever come back?
Yeah, they're in 1.5. We did some amazing optimizations on that. So those side objectives will be back in 1.5. You won't need to go take them around to a secluded area and execute them anymore to get server performance back, which, yes, they will be back. Will they be smarter? Probably not, but they will be back.
Um, how will
Yeah.
the popper bugs work in the future? Will they be like a swarm or
Well,
specific
that's
spawning?
we've got the design for them. Prototyping is happening slowly because it's a lot of work because of how our nav mesh is set up. It's not set up for flying enemies, but they will do the things looked like in the movie. That's our goal. So they will come by and they'll pick up a trooper, carry him off and drop him into lava or something like that. We've already seen some good tests on that. They will dive bomb. They will do that. Um, yeah, we're gonna go exactly like as much as we can to the movie that our tech allows. That's our goal for all of the things we do. We really want to do that. But I'm very happy with the slow but awesome progress that the team has been making on the hopper. Yeah, but like I
Uh,
said, we got a couple bugs to do, so we're taking our time to do them right.
since we only have like 5-ish minutes left, I guess we could announce the whole event thing, right?
Oh yeah, so in about 5 minutes, I'm gonna talk to Next Tech, and he's gonna turn on double XP for this weekend. It's gonna run right through till we remember to turn it off on Monday. So I don't know if next. I'm looking at Next Tech right now. Are we good to turn on double XP, sir? Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, so double
There
XP
you
is going
go.
on until Monday at 10 or something like that Pacific
Yeah,
time. So
whoever mentioned it
have
in the
fun.
chat, there you go.
Yeah. So
There's your
now you
double
all got to
XP.
go. And if you haven't reviewed our game on Steam, we really need you to go and please review our game with a thumbs up, hopefully, and a
Yeah.
comment because those are super important for us to see our review score go up, our 30-day review score go up, because that allows us to know that people are really enjoying what we're doing. Also, like get into in discussion. If you're having issues with the game on Steam or something, like get in and tell us what it is. We look at those, we take it seriously, we review them all. Sometimes it hurts, but we do. We want your feedback, want to know how we can make your game run better, think ideas you have. But it's very important for us, especially as a small little development team. Like we're not very many people. Like everybody's carrying multiple hats here. We're just so focused on helping deliver this game to all you guys and the review scores are really important and we got a thumbs up we've got we're on now double XP should be turned on and hopefully I've answered all your questions. We'll be back again next month, I
Mhm.
swear. In July I will share with you the planet, uh the thing that's coming. I will let you know what it is because we want good build up to it because we've been working on it for a while now, so we're pretty excited.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Thanks. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and asking questions. I always enjoy this. You guys always have some great questions, and we get some great leaks out of it.
Yeah, I didn't leak
Because
too much today, so I'm quite happy.
oh, not really. This one was a
I
lot
did
less
s
leaky.
I was funny in Discord this morning. I said, "Good day, troopers. Are you guys all excited for the Q&A?" And I said, "I'm doubly excited." So, and that meant double XP was coming, but yeah. So I want everybody to go in Discord, and I swear if somebody sends me a note, if they find out and they could say in Discord, this is what the new planet is or the new thing is or whatever, that someone did verbatim solve last November, I will confirm it as fast as I can that that is true. So I this is a community Easter egg. The first one that can tell
Oh
me
boy,
that they have evidence of this new planet being or new map, whatever it is, being identified correctly, I will 100% find a way to confirm that
you're about to get
as a yay or nay.
bombarded with pings.
Yeah. Well, yeah, don't just yeah, I don't care. I don't like this is my job. But anyway, I want to thank you all. You guys have been amazing. I like I said, I really appreciate the people who do take the time on Discord, Steam,
Yep.
wherever, Facebook. I look at the Facebook group and give us
Hmm.
criticism and feedback. Just do it from a place of good, please. Because I won't read anything where you're just being an asshole. I just won't. Um, but we really appreciate it. And like I said, we need some strong reviews that really helps out, shows the company that the game's going in the right direction. And we're super grateful for you guys as a community. We really are.
You guys are excellent troopers. But I guess that will end it for this month's stream.
Yeah, we'll talk to you real
Yeah.
soon.
Yep. Talk to you guys next month. Thanks for coming out, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.